Hello, my reptile viewers. Hopefully, my loyal reptile viewers are watching. I've got something here today that I want to share. Of course, that's what I do, is like to share videos. Has to do with alternative food for your tegus. That's a lot of people's questions, like, what do I feed my tegus? I like to feed my tegus a wide variety of things, and not get them stuck on one, two, or three things. But here's what I have today, and it is kind of seasonal, and it's not always available. Let me show you a little bit more detail. All right, and this one here, make sure it's in the video. When it rains, we get these snails come out. These are snails. These are, everyday Texas snails. Now, I don't know where you live, so, what you have available, but here I have available. These I just consider just type of a garden snail. We have snails that don't have shells. We have a wide variety of different snails, but these snails are prevalent when it rains. I don't know where they go when it's dry, but they come out after it rains, and we've gone many months without rain, but now we're in more rain, so these are coming out. So I don't know what you identify these snails as, but this is what they look like. And before they are boiled, and here I have a container, and I put, you can put fruit in there. I've got collard greens, and they will feast on the collard greens or fruit that you put in there. And from a gentleman that a survivorless, sorry, I'm not going to say it correctly, a guy that survives in the wild with Bare Essentials, makes videos, and he eats wild snails. He will cook them over a fire, and doesn't, I don't think it's recommended that you feed. And just a warning, so everybody knows, I don't think it's a good idea to feed your reptiles wild caught insects, because a lot of snails, if I remember correctly, and I've read or heard, will carry parasites. Snails have the potential to do that, and animals eat snails and then they get parasites in their stomach and things like that. But what you can do, two ways to avoid parasites, or you can get an item and freeze it at least for a couple of days, and then that'll kill the parasites. Or you can cook to about 170 degrees for 7 to 10 minutes, something. Or you can boil and up to 160, 180 degrees, but I just bump it up to 190 degrees, and you can boil these. And so that will get rid of any parasites, and it cooks them a little bit, but boiling leaves them a little soft and still leaves them a little slimy. And my tegus, I'm telling you, if I can tell you anything, my tegus think this is filet mignon or lobster. They freak out. They love this stuff. And then also too, snails and things like that will help, as far as I know and as far as what I've read, with skin shedding. The contents of the snails, I mean, they are kind of slimy if you take them out, but I have read that, so that's something to consider. But that's them alive. And then here I boiled some yesterday, and here's what they look like after I've taken them out of their shells. And maybe Mac is as large as he is. He could crack one of these, but these snails are really tough, and really tough. And so I have to use a pair of pliers, or I've used some shears. I've made a video about this probably 6 months ago, and I showed everything, but I think it's good to show again because people just don't go back and watch older videos. I have to remember correctly, but I've got probably 70 videos on my tegus, and if you go back and you watch my videos, I find it kind of hard. I don't want to go back and watch old videos. I want to watch new videos. So I understand, but that's why I'm making this video again. But here's what they look like. I mean, they're slimy. I don't remove all the shell pieces from them because that's good. You know, you can feed this part of the shells to your Tegus because it's calcium, but they're slimy, and I would never eat one of these, never in my life. I don't think, but that's what they look like. They're just kind of meaty, slimy, and I'm telling you, my Tegus. I'm gonna wash my hands now. I don't even like touching that stuff. But that's what they look like, and I'm just going to show you real quick. If you are lucky enough to have snails, or you want to catch wild earthworms, I just think that, you know, a lot of people will keep their Tegus outdoors, you know, if they're able to, and the Tegus dig in the dirt, and they will get insects as they dig into the dirt, and they're wild caught insects, obviously, and there's not a lot of fear about that, so just keep that in mind too. You know, that Rose City Reptile guy here has his reptiles outside, and they will dig in the ground, and they will get the opportunity to eat different insects. But the reason why you don't want to take Tegus out of the wild as babies, or, you know, as juveniles, or as an adult wild caught reptiles, is because they tend to have parasites, and parasites will shorten their lives and things like that of that nature. So it's not good to adopt wild caught reptiles. You know, they eat things in the wild, and those things tend to have parasites, and you just don't want to get a reptile with parasites. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to show you real quick what I've made. This is just a can, just a can of soup that I just removed the labels. This is very easy. So this heats up faster than a bowl, or a pot. And you fill that up with water, you know, up about 3/4, and then just put it on your stove top and put that up on high, and it just takes about 4 minutes, and it'll boil, and then you'll reduce your temp there, and then you'll just, as the water boils, you will drop in your snails. You will just grab your snails and drop them in there and cook them for, 6 to 7 minutes if you want to, just to be sure. But, you know, when it comes to a boil, it's at a certain temperature, but you can have a little instrument like this that'll measure temp of different things, hot things or even cold things. But put them in there, boil them 6 to 7 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. Take them out, let them cool, and then put them under the sink and wash them off, and then crack them open. And don't put your shells down your sink. I usually put them in just another container and then throw them in the yard. But that's how you will come out with these snails right here. And then we're going to feed these to my Tegus. But they're sleeping right now, and it's like 2:49. But we'll wake them up, and we'll show you how much they love eating these boiled snails. And again, it's just a different item for them to eat, different nutrients, and I think it's just really, really cool and beneficial to feed a wide variety of stuff. Insects are important diets of Tegus. Maybe not as much of large Tegus as they are small Tegus, but enough said. Here we go. All right, I'm back. We just had a storm roll through, and it knocked my power out, and that's my generator in the background running. But the lights have come back on, but I got to burn the fuel out of the tank. Well, we're going to feed Sassy. I have to wake them up. They'll sleep for days. And again, they're not brumating. It's not 70 degrees, 60 degrees. It's like 85 degrees, 90 degrees. So they just like sleeping. But I'm going to put Sassy down. She was sitting on my shoulder really peacefully. And we're going to put her down right here if she'll stay. Sassy, stay right here. So here she's going to see.
Come eat for the camera. Come on. Oh shit. She tried to jump at it and I flinched. There's quite a bit of shell on here so she can get some calcium. Here, Sassy. Come up. You're sitting on some on your foot. Gonna be squirmy. They love snails, and she's getting them all over my countertop. Worst place to be doing this, but come get it. Come get it. Here. Okay, well she's done. That's Sassy. She's so squirmster. Look, it's some right there, right in front of you. Okay, you don't want it. All right, here's Mac. He is sound asleep. I woke him up, so I got to position him so we can get him in the camera. Hanging across the sink. Put your feet up there, Bubba. Here, look at that. Look, you want some of that? Let me get the scale off your face. He's shedding parts of his head. Let me get the fork out for Mac. He's a fork eater. He eats off the fork. Get it. Come on, Mac, open your mouth. I have to cook those other ones. I only cooked about 6 of them. Get that. Mac, such an odd angle that I'm doing this at. I'm right in the shadow, causing the shadow. But hopefully you saw that. Terrible video technique that I'm doing, but yeah, that's Mac. He's just now waking up, and it's 5 o'clock. Time for him to get up. He's looking pretty blackish color as he grows older. I don't know if you can see him real well. Like, I guess I could move the camera up closer. Mac's turning out to be a pretty blackish, dark colored Tegu. And I'm going to put him back in there, and hopefully he'll wake up for a few hours. And I'll boil some more snails now. Alright, hopefully here's a little better footage of Mac. He's kind of woken up now, and I cooked him some fresh snails. These are different lights, so they're going to be different colors. UVB light. This is a mercury vapor bulb that puts out UVB light right here, and just different light sources, but they're for Mac and Sassy. Come here, Mac. Look what I got. Look, he's off in the distance. We'll let him see a fresh snail. You want some of that? Well, come here. Come get it. Come get it. Come on. Don't be lazy. Come on. Come get it. Come get it. Come on, Mac. Come up on the light. Come on. Come on. They love snails, and it's got some shells on it. He loves snails. He's not very good at getting stuff in his mouth. Mac, get it. That's why I put it in a fork for him. He makes such a mess. I try to put it in a fork. Come get it. Come get it, Mac. Come get it. Come get it in front of the camera. Pick up. You got some scraps, Bubba. You got some calcium, some shells. Mac likes to eat from a fork. I mean, he recognizes that as his little shovel that I have for him. Mac. It's plastic, so in the wild, tegus eat snails, and crush their shells. That's kind of what their back teeth are for. Their front teeth are the sharper ones for grabbing onto things, and their rear teeth are for smashing through the snails. But that's Mac. Hi, Mac. He's growing to be such a big lizard.